There are days when the world feels heavy, when the weight of your goals seems too much to bear, when your thoughts spiral into excuses and procrastination. You know you should be doing something, but your mind keeps telling you to wait, to push it off until tomorrow. But here's the harsh truth. Tomorrow will never come unless you make it happen today. We live in a world where action is everything. Inaction isn't just a choice. It's a slow and steady path to regret, missed opportunities, and a life unfulfilled. There's a powerful idea within Stoicism that has the ability to change your life, and it's not about motivation. It's about the simple act of doing. Do it even when you don't feel like it. This principle can be the difference between staying stuck and propelling yourself forward. What often holds us back is the need for perfection, or the idea that we must feel ready. But here's the thing, you will never feel ready. The perfect moment doesn't exist, and the longer you wait for it, the further away your dreams will get. Stoics like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca knew this truth deeply. They didn't wait for the ideal conditions to take action. They took action because it was in the doing that they found purpose, clarity, and progress. When you think of taking action, what comes to mind? Maybe you think of a grand gesture or a big decision, but action doesn't have to be some monumental leap. It's in the small daily choices. It's waking up and pushing through that first moment of resistance. It's taking the first step when everything in you is telling you to wait. Action is not about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about deciding that you will take control of the moment you're in, no matter how imperfect it is. One of the most important lessons Stoicism teaches us is the distinction between what is in our control and what is not. The one thing we always have control over is our actions. We may not control the circumstances around us. We may not control the outcome of every effort, but we control whether or not we act. And action, in itself, is the most powerful thing you can do to create momentum in your life. How many times have you found yourself paralyzed by fear or doubt, knowing what you should do but holding back because it doesn't feel right? Maybe you're waiting for the fear to subside or for inspiration to strike. But here's the painful truth. The fear doesn't go away until you take action. The longer you wait, the louder the voice of doubt becomes, the harder it becomes to take that first step. Action is the antidote to fear, and the more you practice it, the easier it becomes to silence that voice. Let's talk about motivation for a moment, because it's something people often rely on to take action. The truth is, motivation is unreliable, it's fleeting, it's inconsistent, and it's often not enough to get us through the hard days. We've all had moments when we felt inspired, but how long did that last? A few hours? A day? When motivation fades, and it always does, you're left with a choice. Do you wait for it to return, or do you act despite not feeling motivated? That's where discipline comes in. Discipline is the key to consistent action. It's the ability to show up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Discipline doesn't rely on how you feel. It's about deciding every single day to do what needs to be done, even when the motivation is gone. The Stoics mastered this. They didn't rely on a burst of motivation to live virtuously. They relied on the daily practice of doing what was right, regardless of their emotional state. Think about it for a moment. Discipline turns the impossible into the inevitable. Every time you show up, even when you don't want to, you build a stronger foundation for the future. It's the small, consistent actions that lead to big results. Each choice you make, each step you take, builds the life you want. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes to keep going. The key is showing up, not waiting for the right moment or the perfect set of conditions. Now, I want to address something important: the discomfort of taking action. No matter how much we want to act, there's always resistance. The human mind doesn't want to face discomfort. It wants ease, It wants comfort. It wants instant gratification. But comfort zones are the enemy of growth. You can't grow without discomfort. You can't improve without pushing through the resistance. And every time you face that discomfort and push through it, you get stronger. The Stoics weren't afraid of discomfort. They welcomed it. They understood that life's greatest rewards come on the other side of struggle. Every time they forced themselves to do something difficult, they were growing, learning, and building resilience. The same is true for you. Every time you push through the discomfort, you grow, and every time you avoid it, you stay stagnant. When you understand that discomfort is a natural part of growth, you start to see it differently. Instead of avoiding it, you learn to move through it. The action itself becomes the lesson. It's no longer about waiting for the right conditions. It's about doing what you need to do, despite how you feel. Another powerful principle Stoicism teaches is the idea of focusing only on what you can control. You can't control how you feel all the time, and you certainly can't control the world around you. But you can control your response to it, and that's everything. You can choose to act, regardless of how uncertain, fearful, or overwhelmed you feel. That's where your power lies, within your actions. When you take control of your actions, you take control of your life. And when you force yourself to act, you realize that you've been holding the power all along. You have the ability to change your life with every decision you make. And it starts with the decision to stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the motivation. Stop waiting for the fear to go away. Start now, because right now is all you have. This is where the Stoic principle of the present moment comes into play. The present moment is the only time in which we can act. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow is unknown. The only thing you truly have control over is what you do today. So stop waiting for some external force to give you permission. You have permission right now. The time to act is always now. Start today, even if it's one small step forward. When you take action, no matter how small, you send a message to yourself that you are in control. And that small action creates the momentum needed to tackle the bigger challenges. Action is what breaks the cycle of doubt, hesitation, and regret. It's what clears the fog and brings clarity. It's in the action that you find your true power. So, as you sit here right now, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do today to move forward? It doesn't need to be big, and it doesn't need to be perfect. Just take one step, one action. That's all it takes to start the momentum. And that momentum will carry you forward to the life you've been waiting for. You don't need more time, more motivation, or more planning. You just need to act. If this video resonated with you and you're ready to start taking action, I encourage you to like, comment, and subscribe for more practical Stoic advice to help you live a life of purpose, courage, and discipline. Don't wait for tomorrow. Start today. Remember, the path to action begins with a single step. So take that step now and watch how everything begins to change.